Oh, we sat there, we pushed stuff around.
We are going to talk to Mr. George Hellebuck, who is currently auctioning off all his worldly goods to seek a new life of retirement.
Right.
And Mr. Hellebuck, first of all, why don't you talk to us a little bit about your farm and how long you've lived here?
Since 1946.
Since 1946. And is this the first farm that you've ever owned?
No,
or?
my second one.
Always in Michigan? Have you lived in Michigan? And what about your life here? Did you raise kids? What kind of crops did you raise?
4 girls, all vegetables.
All vegetables. Your girls aren't vegetables. You've raised vegetables.
Yeah, I raised vegetables.
What led you up to this?
I sold my farm and want to sell everything and get rid of everything.
Why? Why don't you want to take anything with you?
Because I got no more use for it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've all been invited here today to attend the sale of Mr. George Hellebuck. He's been here for quite some time, and now he has sold the property, has no further use for any of the articles here, and he's going to sell them to you at auction today, so you bid to me and I'll sell to you. The terms of the sale are cash. Make your settlements as we move along, and it'll be your merchandise. After you buy it, you take care of it. It is sold as is and where is, and again I say it is your merchandise. After you buy it, you take care of it. Terms of the sale are cash, unless you make arrangements with the boys representing the National Bank of Richmond, Darrell Hawes and John. Who? Hiller. John Hiller. Oh, he's the money man. Okay, those are the boys from the bank right there. Now you can pay cash, and but if you want to pay later, you can have a running total. Give your names to the clerks, and we'll go from there. We'd like to have this merchandise moved out as soon as possible, because George ain't gonna be around here after about Monday night.
I had an ambition. In fact, I had 2 ambitions. I had one ambition to be a policeman and one to be an auctioneer. And I couldn't cut it as a policeman because I was too short. But I always liked auctioning, and so I had a neighbor within a half a mile of where we live here now. They sold their farm, and I said, let me have your auction sale. And he said, oh, we haven't got enough. And I said, well, let's get enough in. So I had some neighbors that put in a little extra and stuff, and we got enough merchandise together to have an auction sale. And so I practiced for about 10 days. First I practiced in the home, and my wife couldn't stand it any longer, so I went out to the barn and started practicing selling the cattle. Well, the day that I had the first auction, I got out there. I got butterflies a little bit, but I choked them down when I opened up the sale. And then after the sale got started, it was on March the 6th, 1944, started raining, sleeting, and the people, they started backed off, and here I am out yelling, and so, but anyway, we come through with quite a successful sale, and I came home that night, and I was plenty exhausted, but the result of that sale, the man that I sold for, his uncle had a sale a month later, had done that, and there was another man there that wanted a sale about a couple of weeks after that, and so I had 18 sales the first year.
That's pretty good.
The next year, I had 91 sales. The next year, I had 168. 254 is the most that I've had in one year. But I have liked the auction business. It's an exciting business because every few seconds it's different. Now I try to average 100 sales an hour. I have done more than that, but this is just a good pace of selling, is 100 sales an hour.
Hey, we got a hole for a midget right there, and a caulking gun, and a saw blade. $1 bill, $1, big $1, he $1,
That's sharp.
$1, $1 bill, $1 here, $1 there, $1. Well, I got a quarter, half $1, half, everybody half $1, he $1, half 75, everybody go 75, 75. Sold for $50. Another good landing net will give me $1 bill. $1 bill here, $1, anybody $1 bill, $1 here, $1, $1. Anybody will say $1 now a half, $1.50, anybody $1.50. dollar and a half here, dollar and a half there. Hot dollar and a half, get him a dollar and a half. Sold it out, dollar bill. You bought her right there. All right, next we've got, hey, look at there.
Two good luck horseshoes.
All right, dollar bill, dollar and a half, dollar and a half here, dollar and a half there, dollar and a half. Anyway, dollar and a half, can you give me dollar and a half, dollar and a half, dollar and a half. Sold them out, dollar bill to get it right there.
But there's one thing that I have a policy that I know there are bargains at every sale. But I feel this way, that when the people are good enough to come to my sale, if it's a bargain, they're going home with it. I don't buy anything myself. So that is one policy that I have followed through all the time, because the people don't need me, but I need every one of them. Again, I've been very fortunate. I've had night sales, I've had morning sales, afternoon sales. I always feel pretty confident that I'm going to have someone there to buy the merchandise. So as I say, I've been fortunate, people have been good to me, and the sun shines on Hillman. To get started at first, why, you kind of got to get them started. They're sort of hesitant, and you got to get them warmed up. The way is we start off with the smaller items because they are a little hesitant to get rolling. And we have a pattern. If we have a farm sale where we have household goods and farm machinery and so on and so forth, we sell out the household goods first, then a jewelry wagon, and then we go into the machinery, and if there's livestock, we most generally always wind up with that. Unless we get something where it's threatening weather or something, we will sell the equipment and so on out for it and wind up with the jewelry wagons the last. And the jewelry wagon, that is everything thrown together on a wagon has been collected for over the period of 40 or 50 years. It just depends. Household sales, I'd like to start off with the smaller stuff and then go to the better dishes for a while, and then if people get tired of that, we will sell them furniture. Then we will come back to it, and we will stick with them just to keep them all happy and keep them occupied at all times. You look your crowd over, and you have a lot of the same people, then you head into the area of what they're accustomed buying, because you don't want to lose any of the people. You want to give them a cross-section so they don't get tired and walk away from you.
We got the windows right here, and we'll give on the windows. How much on them? $5. $5 when you go $5. $5 here, $5 there, $5 when you go $5, and $5 when you go $5. $5. Talk to me, Fred. $5 when you go $5. $5 when you go $5. When you go $5 here, $5 there, $5 when you go $5. $5 when you go $5 when you go $5. $5 here, $5 there, $5 when you go $5. $5 now, $5 when you go $5. $5. What do you give for them? You don't want them. Anybody want the windows? Anybody want these windows? All right, then we're going to go right over here on the next line.
Well, I never give any appraisals because I'll tell you, I'm so far off on it. The sales vary so much. Every sale is different. Today you can roll on one thing and the next day it's something different. And so I never want to disappoint my customers. I tell them that I will try to do the very best that I can for them. But as far as to giving them a great big price to get their sale, I don't do that, because then if I don't get it, they're let down. I would much rather have them satisfied and happy than to have them disappointed. I'm not afraid to tell you, I have one price for everybody. I get 10% for selling the household sales. Big farm sales, I get 5%. Plus then there's the clerking expense plus the advertising. I just go out there and I say, well, the bank will clerk the sale for X amount of dollars, percentage-wise, and that is it. They handle the whole thing there, because that way I don't have to handle their money. They're protected all the way through. There are many people who make a business of it, coming out buying this stuff, because new furniture is high. They buy this older furniture, restore it, it's beautiful, it'll last them a lifetime, and it'll be worth a lot more money when they sell it. You have a lot of buyers, but they can go up to about 50% of value. Sometimes they go a little higher, but they like to go at that, which they have to make money too, you see. Yeah. But there are many of them. As I say, every sale has a bargain. Some days this item here will not sell, and if the dealer is there, they can get a bargain and go from there, which always makes me happy. When they leave happy with a bargain, they'll be back at the next sale. And there are times, by the same token, I have felt times that I thought they paid a lot of money, that they overpaid sometimes. But then these people come back to me and they say, well, it isn't what it's worth to me. I wanted it and I got it. And as long as they're happy, who am I to say what the item is worth?
3. 3 and now a half. And a half, get on to 3 and a half. Big thing, 3 and a half. 3 and a half, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, and 3 and a half. $4 now, 4. $4 when you go, $4 now, 4 now a half. 4 and a half now, $5 now, 5. 5 and now a half, 5 and a half, $6 go see. 6, gotta get to 6, we get 6 now a half and a half, get on to a half. 6 and a half, $7 now, 7 and 7 on 7 on 7 go 7 and 7. 7 and 7, get on to 7. 7 and 7, sold $6 and a half. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that brings another sale to the close. We want to thank each and every one of you for coming out and bidding to us. And now it's come time for us to bid. On behalf of Mr. and Mrs. Hellebuyck,
Watch it, you're backing up.
myself and all, we'd like to bid. And our bid is thank you and good afternoon. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow over at the sale on 27 Mile Road, 1 mile east of Davis, and week after 28 miles east of Groveland Lake. So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you and good afternoon. George, I hope you guys. Thank you. That's it. He's all over with.
So there's a lot of pressure there. You know, if you roll running 100 to 120 sales an hour, and you do that from 8 to 10 hours, when you get through, it drags you down. And especially if you have 2 and 3 right in a row, and you don't get a recuperation in between, that's when you really notice it. 3 times in all the time I had laryngitis and couldn't even get above a whisper. So I've been very, very fortunate. But it can happen. But as you get older, I don't have a mic or anything, but there might be a day coming when I have to invest in one. Especially when you get up to my age, you see. But I have sold about all kinds of items. I've sold real estate, livestock, antiques. Just about if it can be sold, I can sell it at auction. All I say is I enjoy doing the sales, and my idea is that if I can be of service to you, my policy is give to the public the best, so the best will come back to me, and the best is that if I can have your sale,